Hey, welcome to our show. This is Michelle, and this is Course Correction. Today, I am going to be talking to Miss Sunny Speaks, who is a blogger, travel blogger, a poet, a comedian to me, and she is a vegan chef. Recently, she started Vegan Trappin', which she explains to me later in this episode. So if you want to hear more about that really cool live cooking experience, make sure you listen to the rest of the episode. All right, so let's get into it. Work from home, right?
Yeah, pretty much, kind of, sort of. Work
Yeah.
from everywhere, realistically.
Okay. Let me fix my whatever this was, ponytail.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I have Sunday's little twists in there, and I don't be caring, if I can be honest.
I was actually, when you said you were gonna call in another hour, I was like, oh, well, let me go ahead and start roller setting my hair. I gotta go to New York tomorrow.
Oh wow, yeah, you've been doing a lot of traveling, right? I was watching your. I hope my house is not embarrassing right now. It probably is, but anyway, I was watching your YouTube, and I noticed that you were telling a lot of people that you were going to be visiting down in Florida. So are you in Florida?
No, I actually live in Atlanta. So,
What I thought.
um, yes. So I live in Atlanta. I'm from Florida. I'm from Miami, and I went to school in Tallahassee. So a lot of times when I do like the vegan trapping, I go to cities where I already have kind of like a home base. Makes things
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially doing stuff like that, it's like you want people to come out, you know,
Hmm.
and you know, the easier or the more people trust you, the more they're willing to say, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to come and support. So, like, how did you get started?
Oh man. So basically, like 2013, I had got a trainer. So I got out of this really bad relationship. I had to move back in with my parents, and like I had a college degree. I just wasn't where I thought I was supposed to be in life. Like I felt really embarrassed. All of these things like that. And so I had put on a lot of weight, just not really from that relationship, just in the course of life. Like I had just put on weight, kind of really didn't notice. And I've always been like on the heavier side my whole life. So I got a trainer. Shout out to 100 Your Life, and he was great. And he was doing a vegan challenge for 90 days. So I was like, well, if he could do it for 90 days, I could do it for 30 days. And I don't ever really like to do stuff on my own, so I just put it on Facebook, and I was like, hey, who wants to do this vegan challenge with me for 30 days? And like at this point, I didn't really know anything about being vegan. Like I knew what it was, but I didn't know a lot. I didn't know about like a lot of products. I didn't really know. I was just, losing weight and starting to get into eating healthy myself. So I was like, okay, whatever. And people liked it. And then like I just have kind of like a ratchet, like asshole kind of personality. People think that it's funny. So I would do like these live cooking videos. I would do like Q&As because I would do all this research. And then like people just liked it. And so like every year people would be like, oh, we're doing a vegan challenge this year. We're doing a vegan challenge. Like, can I be in the vegan challenge? And so it really just kind of took a life of its own, really, just from something small that I wanted to do. And plus, it's in January, so that's when people are trying to like New Year's resolution, lose weight, all that stuff. So it kind of just flows. So then, like every year, like right after Thanksgiving, people are like, oh man, like I can't wait for the vegan challenge. I ate so bad, did it, and it just really just bloomed from there. And so, like every year after I would do the vegan challenge, slowly but surely, I would just kind of like get back into eating meat. Like first it would be fish and chicken. Somebody have a barbecue. Next thing you know, I'm eating pork. I mean,
Mhm.
and I loved cheese, like loved cheese. So it was always like by the time the end of the year came around, like I would need the challenge as much as everybody else who participated because I got back to eating meat. And then I just kept noticing like every time I would go back to eating meat, like I'd pick up weight, I'd get sick. Um, like dairy makes me feel really congested. I feel like I'm about to get a cold. Like I had the flu. Anytime I would eat beef or pork, I get really tired. Like all of these things. So I was like, just kind of in my mind, like, why do you keep doing this to
Going back.
yourself every year? So this year after the vegan challenge, I just decided to stick with it and go. So it's basically been like on and off for like maybe like 5 or 6 years, and then pretty much pretty consistent for like the past 6 months.
So So can we talk about smacking steak? Like, is that something that you came up with?
Yes. So my smacking steak, I got here to Atlanta and I started doing like meal prep because people would see and they'd be like, oh, they want to buy food. And so before I quit my job, I was just kind of like doing it on the side. And so I would do meal prep. And anytime I would do like a protein, people would always ask about, like, people who work out will always ask about carbs, because when you do like black bean burgers, like, people think like bean burgers are protein, and they are, but beans are actually equal in protein to carbohydrates. So if you're
Right.
trying to like slim down, it's not necessarily like the best option. And then also, when I would make a lot of meals like vegan meat, it can be kind of pricey a little bit. So I just started doing research on YouTube, and I saw like how different people would make like this steak or whatever, or this vegan, protein source, called Seitan. That's like the official name of it. So I just, kind of mixed up a couple people's recipes, mixed with my recipe. It was a lot of trial and error. What I liked, what I didn't like, what could be done. Because I like cheated in chemistry, so I don't know like nothing. Yeah, it was a lot of trial and error, like what could be done, the amount of water, like all of the measurements and stuff like that. And then I got it right. And so when I was doing meal prep, like, people started to like the steak so much, they would be like, can I just buy the steak from you, like, instead of buying the whole meal? So I was
Right.
like, well, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make a business out of this. So you know what I'm saying? You buy anything, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let's
Right.
play, let's deal. So that's how I started selling the steak. And I was like, I need to like get this trademarked because people are liking it. And so I went forward with getting the trademark, and now I have like my own patented recipe, and
Awesome.
yeah, smacking steak. So
So, like, okay, so how are you distributing that now? Right
um
now.
well, right now I just do it out of my kitchen. So when people make specific orders, or with local restaurants here in Atlanta, I make it. It's all made in small batches,
Mhm.
and so I distribute it like that. And then you can buy it plain, or there's different flavors that you can buy. So currently, I offer jerk, barbecue, African Berber, which is known as our
Mhm.
curry. I think I said plain. Let me see. Jerk, barbecue, curry, African Berber, and plain. Oh, and the smothered. And the smothered.
Wow. Okay, so like, because when I was watching, I was like, that looks really good. Because I'm like a huge beef and broccoli aficionado myself. Okay, and when you pulled out the sunbird, I was like, exactly, exactly. You know what I mean? So like, I've kind of been toying with the idea of trying some vegan meals. So I think I would have to start with something like that. You know what I'm saying? That meat, because it's like meat, but not, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing is I'm like, do I really can I cut out meat? Like being married to meat for so long, it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
a real divorce. So like what would you say is the first thing that you have to kind of not trick yourself, but kind of realize whenever you're gonna try vegan that it's okay to stop eating the meat?
Well, what I tell people mainly, because the majority of my client base are not vegans. They're people like you. They're just looking to cut out meat, maybe one meal a day, 2 meals a day, 4 or 5 days a week, and then like treat themselves on the weekend. And I think that's okay. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with transitioning. You don't have to cut meat out completely, but whatever you put in your body the most is what your body will crave. Like, now, like, a lot of people always ask me, like, is there nothing that you miss? And like, for a long time it was chicken wings. Like, you know what I mean? Like how you are with beef, give me a lemon pepper, all flat, fry hard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
I'm
and
good to go. And it's not like the leg, it's not the thigh, it's not the whole chicken. It's just chicken wings specifically.
mm-hmm.
Um, the last time that I had chicken wings was December, for my birthday, and I got so sick, like, because
Oh,
I don't eat meat on a regular basis, but I was on vacation. I was like, I'm in New York, it's my birthday, we lit, you know what I'm saying? So I had some chicken wings, and the next day I felt so sick. I felt like I needed to throw up, but I couldn't throw up. Like it wasn't nauseating enough to throw up. So I just had this nausea like for 24 hours.
Wow.
It was horrible. And so like in comparison with that, it made me think like, do I want to be like for 15 minutes of pleasure basically be stuck for like a day? And most people won't realize that because they never cut it out of their diet. So like even when I stopped eating dairy, I didn't know that, you know, I was supposed to breathe like that. Like I always thought I had like
I
no,
thought I was
my,
supposed to breathe fucked up.
yeah, my mom has chronic bronchitis. My brother had asthma. So I was like, oh, they didn't diagnose me with anything, but obviously I got breathing problems too, whatever. But most people don't cut it out. So I would say if you're a person who's interested in looking at the meatless lifestyle, I would say for one, you have tons and tons and tons of options now. 9 times out of 10, it's in your regular grocery store and you just happen to be walking past it because you weren't looking for it. So I mean, try one meal a day for 30 days. Challenge yourself. If you think you can do 2 meals a day, do 2 meals a day. You know, meatless. Breakfast is the easiest one to do because you have oatmeal. You know, you can make vegan pancakes really easily. And most of us, if you work like a regular 9, we don't really have time to eat breakfast anyway.
Right.
Most people do. And if you're in a rush, you can have something like a smoothie or whatever. But I would say that for sure will help if you're looking into like the meatless lifestyle. And also, super big thing is don't let one thing turn you off. Like a lot of people will come to me and say like, oh, I tried, you know, I won't say the name, but like X brand of cheese and, you know, it was terrible. And I was like, I'm certain that you've had terrible chicken numerous times in your life. And it doesn't stop you
Right.
thinking like, I won't eat chicken from that place. And it's kind of the same thing with vegan products. It's like, okay, I had, you know, terrible thing from here, but I'm not going to stop eating it, you know, or because there's a lot of different companies that make like more than one product, you know, so you'd be like, okay, well, I had this thing and it's terrible. Like, there's a company called Daya and they make shredded cheese that's not, I particularly don't care for it that much, but they make a vegan blue cheese dressing that is like spot on out of this world, like side by side. And people wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. I had it just last night. I made some vegan buffalo tenders and I had it with blue cheese. And it was like, I felt like I was eating. So, you know, if you try something and you don't like it, you can be like, okay, well, I don't like this brand or I don't like this flavor and just, you know, try something else.
Okay, so how do you make the tenders?
Oh, they're sold by this company called Gardein.
Mm-hmm.
And they're at most stores, even Walmart. So, you go in the Walmart frozen section. You can bake them. I happen to fry them because I'm fat. So I fried them, tossed them in some Frank's Red Hot because it's buffalo and it's vegan. And I had some vegan blue cheese. And I ate that for dinner like 2 nights ago. I think not last night. Yeah, 2 nights ago. So a lot of stuff you don't have to like reinvent the wheel, and that's something I definitely want people to understand. Veganism is very different than the way it was 15, 20, 18, 10 years ago. Like there's literally vegan everything, and some of it is outstanding. Some of it, you know, needs a little bit more work. Like vegan bacon, I have yet to come across a vegan bacon that's like, you know, you give us time. You know, we need a little bit more time. We ain't perfected that yet. We
Right.
just got a really good vegan egg. So
Yeah,
that's
I was gonna ask you about that because I saw you saying that one of them in particular was very expensive, but just was it Just Egg? I think
yeah,
it was. Okay.
it's really great. So if you're an egg person, which I'm an egg person, if you're an egg person and you feel like you're gonna be missing out on breakfast, like Just is perfect. It's the price point is high, and I try to with vegan products, I always try to equate it to like so. For example, Beyond Meat sausage, they have the best to me, hands down, sausage on the market. Their sausages are $9 for four of them. So, well, at least here, Florida, Georgia, New York, most places that I've been, it's like $9 for four of them, which is expensive. But Beyond Meat is also, for the most part, only sold in Whole Foods. So I try to tell
Yeah.
people if you were like a non-GMO, all organic, they massaged the pig before they killed it type of from Whole Foods, you would be paying
Paying
price
the same
point
amount.
paying the same thing. With the Just Egg, no, I think the price point is not equivalent for the amount of eggs. Because even if you bought like, free range, the chicken no sign language, the
Mm-hmm.
train tricks type of chicken eggs from Whole Foods, the price point still wouldn't be the same as the Just Egg. So, I mean, if you can go without it, go without it. If you need it, I would say that's the best one on the market.
Okay. Yeah, well, like I was talking to my boyfriend about that yesterday because we were talking about, you coming on and I was like, yeah, we're going to talk about, cookbook and whoop de womp womp. And he was like, yeah, it just seems so expensive. And I was like, yeah, um, it does kind of seem like it's expensive. But then he was like, I guess if you just eat more vegetables. But I'm like, I feel like there's more to it than just adding a lot of vegetables. Is that one of the misconceptions that you hear often?
Well, I think the misconception is that it's expensive. For one, that's the one that I hear all the time. And like I said, if you're eating higher quality food, like so for me, for example, if I ate meat, I wouldn't be buying meat like beef from Walmart. I would be buying beef from Whole Foods. So I'd be paying pretty much the same. So it's not that it's um just like outrageously expensive. It's really, that's not the case. Now some things are very pricey, but it's not, to me, outside of things like I said, like the Just Egg, like it's not so far gone where you're like, I'm not paying for this, with the more vegetables thing, you can. And I think that's a big misconception because this is one of the main questions I always get. It's like, what am I going to eat? There's
Mm-hmm.
80,000 edible plants and vegetables on the planet, most of which you're never even going to try in your lifetime because we just don't have the climate to support certain things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I used to live in South America, and I actually did a YouTube video where I had, I think, like 25 or 20 different like fruits that were just uncommon fruits that I'd never seen before that I got in the market. Like, there's so many different things you can try. Like you say, like, oh, I want to go to Brazil and try the steak. Like, yes, they have great steak, they have great sushi, but you probably see a bunch of fruits and vegetables that you've never seen before, and you're like, oh, well, what is this? What does this taste like? What did they use it for? Is it for juice? Is it for, you know, marinades, whatever? So something I always do is I go to the Asian market and I'll pick up a new fruit or a new vegetable. I'll Google it, see what it's used for. Do I like it? Do I not like it? And that's something I do a lot on Instagram Live with my viewers, and I'll see what it's cooked. What did I buy the other day? I bought a long squash. It's called a oppo, something like that. It's Chinese. But Chinese people say they don't need our squash, but we will
Mm-hmm.
grow our own squash, okay? And
They have a lot. They have a lot of their own, stuff. And
oh
I
yeah.
think that's one thing because I have I have a patio here, so I want to plant some stuff out here. Of course,
Mhm.
like you said, the climate would have to be one that would kind of be, you could sustain the vegetables. But I would like to grow some of my own stuff because one of my concerns is that, you know, I think we all know about Monsanto and all
Mhm.
the, I would like to make sure that what we're eating is not poisoned. I do have some Roundup downstairs, but I don't plan to use any of that. So I think that if we all kind of get to a place where we can start growing some of our own stuff, kind of like how you took upon yourself to say, okay, well, I like this meat. I'm going to see if I can make it myself.
Mhm.
Um, and really just being able to try different things. So I noticed that you mentioned Beyonce a couple times. So I'm a huge beehiver. And
Ooh,
I really feel
choose my
like,
wisely.
well, I liked what you said when you said, I mean, 'cause I think you're doing a good job, but you said you're really not even trying because after listening to her talk about how much effort she puts into pretty much everything, it's like if that's if whatever your goal is that lofty, like you really have to be working like 24 hours a day. So how much effort do you say you put into all that you do? And are you still blogging?
I'm not currently blogging. I would say I put in a lot of effort. I put 150,000% effort into my cooking. So when I'm trapping every meal that I make, like there's no shortcuts. There's no like, I'm gonna buy just cheaper ingredients to cut the bottom line. If something is, for example, usually garlic, organic garlic and regular garlic are usually the same price. I'll get the organic. So I put a lot of effort. I research. It's trial and error, like a lot. My mac and cheese is like one of my quote unquote like most famous recipes, and that's as almost as much trial and error as a steak. Like it's had so many transformations over time, just getting better and better. And people will be like, "Yeah, I love this," and okay, that's fine, but it's not up to my standards. So I would say definitely my Beyonce effort is like all the way with my cooking, like 100%. You know what I'm saying? If you know Beyonce, call her. I could cook her something today. I could cook for Obama. Like that's 110%. There's other things that I don't give as much effort to, which is in a constant state of approval. I'm actually a low key procrastinator. I don't know if I should say that publicly, but when it comes to like emails and writing recipes, things like that are really tedious for me. So like with my cookbook, sitting in front of the computer for all those hours, just even thinking about the measurements, because when I cook, I usually don't measure. Like I'm literally an old woman inside my soul, so I don't measure. So having to think and kind of eyeball and be like, oh, that looks like a tablespoon. That looks like a teaspoon. Or even just saying like, okay, well, what I know as a tablespoon is not a tablespoon. So I had to make sure that,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
got to be hard.
yeah. So those things I can definitely say I didn't put that much effort. But my cooking is on Beyonce all day, every single time. I never half at, like, no matter how tired I am, how many orders I have, what I have to do, speaking engagements, any of that. It never ever detracts from my cooking. This is what I love.
Yeah. So, like, what's your overall goal, you think? Well,
Oh
you
my
know, I know you know it. Tell it to me.
oh my overall goal, well, to cook dinner for Beyonce and Jay-Z, of course. She's their
Okay.
so that's definitely a goal of mine. I would like my steak to be in stores like Walmart, because I want everyone to have an opportunity to be able to eat it. I would like it to be in Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. There's a lot of places here that I've driven to in Miami where they're food deserts, and so they only have like Family Dollar, Dollar General, and that
Mm,
is their grocery store. And even though all of the food that they sell is non-perishable, it's still considered a grocery store by the CDC because it serves food, whatever that means to be. So that's one of my main overarching goals, is that people everywhere, especially Black people, have an opportunity to choose vegan food if that's what they want to eat without leaving their neighborhood, or underserved communities. They're able to have the opportunity to try vegan food. I'd like to have a line of frozen meals.
mm,
Um, I like my steak to be served in restaurants. So there's a lot of places that you can go that have vegan options, and some of them are just, shitty, to be honest. So like when you go inside Chipotle, for example, they have the sofrito tofu. Well, one, a lot of people don't want to eat soy. A lot of African American vegans don't want to eat soy. So that's one. And then two, it's just, there's nothing about it that's meat like. Like it has a lot of flavor, but the texture is not meat like. So when I go to Chipotle, I don't get it. I just get beans and keep it pushing. There's places like Uncle Mario's that has, it's kind of like the Chipotle of pizza. So you go in, you pick your crust, you pick your sauce, pick your cheese, pick your toppings, and they make it for you. They have vegan cheese, but they don't have any vegan meat options. So I'd like to see it
yeah.
there. Going to Jamaican restaurants, um, they'll have tofu as an option, or you can get like rice, cabbage, and some type of meat gravy with plantains, and that's like the veggie plate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it to be as normal for me to go out to eat with my friends who are non-vegan, because when you try to, they're like, oh, let's go to this vegan restaurant, even though the food might be really good, oh, you try to convert me, this
Right.
and that. So, but now with Beyond Meat Burger, for example, is that Friday. So we all want to go out to happy hour. I can eat. They can eat whatever they want. Nobody feels like they got, tried. And it's because of companies like Beyond Meat, like Impossible, that are in these stores like Daya, which is their cream cheese is served at Einstein Bagels.
Oh
Starbucks
wow.
needs the program. Um, that's my overarching goal is that I want it to be everywhere so that everybody has an opportunity just to say, you know what, I'm if I was normally get my breakfast from Starbucks or whatever, I'm gonna try a meal today. It makes it easier. There's not a lot of pressure. So that's really my, I want to say 10-year goal, but really, shit, it could be 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 year goal to where that's
Yeah, I
my.
was just about to ask you how many years, because I was like, I want to try it. And maybe I'll have to come up there and sit with you and you'll have to
You're
hook
in
me up.
Houston, right?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
I need to come. My homegirl lives in Houston. She's dope vegan as well. She kills the game, and she's Haitian, so she makes like vegan Haitian food. So I do need to come to
Oh,
Houston.
okay.
Trapping in Houston, but you guys have soul food vegan, right? Or
Yeah,
is that
I actually went there maybe like 3 months ago, and I had like the really like a weirdest experience where like I ran into these creatives and it was so cool. I was doing a consultation, so I was talking to a client, and we were just talking about her business and how she wants to kickstart it or whatever. And we were talking about meditating and just being on the same wavelength. And these guys were talking about the same exact thing right behind us. So they were like, that's crazy. We're all on the same wavelength. So like we just started chatting and vibing. It was just a really great experience. But I didn't get a chance to eat. So a lot of people have said that they like soul food vegan. Um, but somebody said it didn't taste soulful. So I guess they were like, oh, it didn't have any flavor in it. But I'm like, that's not what I saw from the people who were eating there. But again, I didn't taste it myself.
well, what? Why can we get you to taste it tomorrow? You got plans tomorrow for dinner already?
Yeah, I could probably go by there and see what they have. I know that most people were eating it was like fried. I think it was like a French fry type of thing.
I don't know.
Um,
I just saw ribs, and when I saw their ribs, I was like, wow,
Somebody got to eat it.
wow. And my friend's been there, and she said it's really good. But yeah, you have options all over the place now. Like I said, with the Fridays, Cheesecake Factory has the
Mm.
Impossible Burger. There's a lot of places that you can go that's not just staunch vegan. So that's my 2 to 3 year old. I want to take over Atlanta so people can be like, oh, okay, well I can go and get it here, and I could go and get it there, and yeah, Atlanta.
Definitely. I mean, start at home. So, like, what you got to do? What do you need me to do? You need me to help you? You need me to get so you can get your meat popping? Like, because like I want to see that for you. I want to see your product across the country, shit, across the world, if that's what you want. Because I started a separate business from the podcast, Creative as Fuck Consulting, for Black creatives who maybe already have ideas and they don't know how to execute them, or don't know how to get started. Because I really think we all need to have our own businesses,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because I feel like this is going to sound really conspiracy theorist, but whatever. I feel like if we're going to survive following what may happen with this establishment, because I think we all can see the society is going down, down, down.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to live if you have to live off of what little government is left? You know what I mean? If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have it for yourself. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I really like what you're doing because it kind of vibes with that. So that's why I asked if you were still blogging, because I'm kind of looking also for bloggers to kind of help me, because I want to kickstart my blog. I want to turn into a news magazine, but I'm not going to be able to write everything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like once a week if I can sit down. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think this is a good connection for you and I, because I think there's probably stuff that we can do outside of just this interview. Um, so I wanted to ask you, what's the most important thing you've ever learned, do you think,
In my life,
in your whole life? so far?
Um, can I do two things,
Yeah.
or I just have to keep one? There's a saying, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it's something to the effect of like talent without work ethic is wasted. So like basically it doesn't matter how talented you are, if you aren't willing to work hard, like you're not gonna make it. And the second thing, my friend Jazz, shout out to her, she's an author. She used to tell me is you're never broke until you run out of network. And that in my line of business, especially, traveling, going to different places. Like I've just always been in a position where it's like I have somewhere to stay. I have someone who will let me trap out of their house.
Mm-hmm.
People who will let me borrow their car. Uh, will help with resources, just whatever, word of mouth. They'll share, they'll tag a friend, everything. Like it's my network. Like I might not have a lot of money or millions of dollars to operate with yet, but I have my network is phenomenal, out of this world, insane. Can't say enough good things about them. My network is crazy. So,
That's not your network is your net worth, you know.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really important thing. I'm doing a podcasters pool party here, and I've
What's
been like,
that, girl?
oh, I'm doing it August 31st. So if you can get down here, you are definitely invited. You can even serve meals at the party. I don't care. Or whatever you want to do. I'm serious. I'm trying to get people to come to the party because I want to make it a really cool networking event, but not just a networking event. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be meaningful. So, I mean, if you want to come down, you're totally invited. Um, but the only way I was able to even like kind of get a venue is just through networking. So I think it's so important. And there are people who are like, oh, I don't need XYZ. Well, you always need people. You know what I mean? Because you cannot do anything without some assistance, whether or not it comes from something that you already have or somebody you know. I feel
Yeah,
like if you're really going to be as big, like look at Beyonce, I doubt seriously that she never leans on her friends or people she knows. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
usually just for emotional support or something
right,
like that. And I think too, with that, it's like you can depend on people and people depend on you, and it becomes a interconnected just web. And I really am super grateful to my alma mater. Shout out to FAMU for teaching me that. I think it gets taught at all HBCUs, but I can't speak for that because I haven't been at all HBCUs. But my school really taught me the network is black. So it's like whatever I've needed for my business, thank God I've always been able to reach out to someone black, someone who went to FAMU, or another HBCU, and always, if they can't do it, they know someone else who's black who can do it. So my publicist, my photographer, my lawyer, my editor, for my graphic designer for my website, just any and every, all bodies, down to the person who makes my shea butter so I have to be ashy when I go out.
right.
Like every single thing, the person who fixes my computer, every single thing I've been able to rely on someone black for. And I think that's the best, like the best feeling, because at the end of the day I might not have W-2s, but I have 1099s, and I'm able to employ other black people to do,
Right.
you know, what I need them to do contract wise.
And that's another thing. So when I started, it was like January. My what I kept seeing in my head was like black dollars popping. Like everyone has their own service because people already know how to do shit, but maybe they're not charging for it. Everybody has their own service. So we can pop those dollars among each other and just circulate the dollar more rather
Mm-hmm.
than, going up the street to PC Fix a Parts, which is owned by a white man, to fix your
Mm-hmm.
computer. Well, I know, like you said, I know two and three people I know, plus my mom, is a computer person all my whole life. So I'm like, everybody I know. I even told her, I was like, you could charge people for your service.
Because
Because she's
I'm
trying to
not.
retire. I'm like, girl, you know how to do stuff. So I think that's really important. I'm glad you said that because it's definitely part of it is just to make sure that people know you are valuable. You can charge for your service and you should be doing it. And, I, I feel like I keep saying this too, but they don't teach that in school. They don't teach you that entrepreneurship is really kind of a better way to me personally, because I cannot wait until I don't have to work for someone else. I can't wait.
Well,
So I'm on the way up.
keep going for it. I just quit my job in October, so.
So how's that been? What's it been like for you?
I've never stay off the pole. Praise the
Right.
Lord. And the whole stroll. Praise the
Okay.
Lord. It does cross my mind from time to time. Like, Lord, no, you
Yeah.
gave me gifts, but I also have other gifts. So
Yeah.
that are quite a bit more lucrative on the market. No, it's been it's touch and go. Like some days, I'll go to a city and it'll be like boom, like three days that, and I'm like, what? Like that's crazy. And of course, like I'm exhausted and all that stuff, and then it'll be other cities and be like, well, goddamn 38 cents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I thought y'all was gonna do me different because I only bought it one way. Get here, I
Right.
don't know. Get back to where I'm going to. So it's touch and go. Like I think really like anything else, some days are amazing, and I feel like I'm so glad I quit that job because I would only make X, Y, and Z in 3 days, and then I in this situation I'm doing what I love. I'm getting to meet people. I make my own. I mean, I don't make my own schedule. I think that's kind of like an illusion of entrepreneurship. Your clients make your schedule for
Right.
you, but I main time like when I'm cooking food for people, like nigga, I'm in a house dress and a bonnet. So,
Right.
I got my own form or whatever. I could be on Instagram. There's nobody looking over my shoulder to be like, oh, you shouldn't be on your phone. So like, yeah, that's great. Then there's other days I'm like, please buy something. Help me. I'm
Okay.
poor.
Those be the days. So whenever you have the bad days, or not the bad days, but the low days where you're like 38 cents, how do you get through that? How do you like keep a positive mindset?
I think I just kind of think to myself, I'm my own problem. I'm my own solution. Like, so if when the days happen when I don't really make any money, I always sit back and think like, how can I have gone about this day different? So like the first time that I went to New York, I really just not make any money or whatever. And so I started to kind of like just ask around like what's going on, whatever. And so one, I didn't do enough promo before I went to New York. I didn't have a big audience base in New York. And New Yorkers are neighborhood people. So they don't know you, they're not gonna spend money with you. Even if they get even if they Postmate a sandwich, they're gonna Postmate it from the bodega that they always go to where everybody knows them. They're gonna see Gino on the order. Oh, Gino always gets the extra mayo, no lettuce, whatever, and they sandwich is gonna be made perfect. So that was like a big like realization. I didn't market correctly. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, at least maybe for an hour, I do the woe with me. I'm a
Yeah.
Sagittarius, pretty positive person. But after that, I'm like thinking, okay, what did I do wrong? Maybe I didn't do enough promo, enough Instagram. I could have paid to promote. I didn't do those things, and I just kind of look at it from that growth standpoint because I know before I didn't like to like post a lot, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be begging. I don't want to be put sideline. My friend will be like, girl, you think Walmart give a fuck how many times they see your commercials? You think McDonald's give a fuck how many times if somebody say ba da 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 da, you know McDonald's jingle, and you know why? Because you have seen it 11 times over the
Exactly.
course of your whole life, and they don't give a fuck how many times you see it. You know what I'm
And neither do
saying?
we, because we still go. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Well, people.
Taco Bell, Burger King, Pizza Hut, whatever company you could think of, they don't care how many times they see. They want it to be until you is synonymous. Like until McDonald's is synonymous with burgers, synonymous with fried. Walmart is synonymous with low prices and having everything. Like if I gotta
Hmm.
get something, I'm unsure if another store has it. I will go to Walmart because I know that Walmart will have it. Like not for
Yes.
vegans. That's no. That's more like a Whole Foods thing. But with just regular stuff, I need like a screwdriver or a sterno burner for a catering
Well, they have
event.
like essential oils and all the candles and everything else too,
Right,
and fish food and something for your garden and
right.
everything. And
And how many times you see their commercial? They want you to know they got online shipping. They better than Amazon. So I think like before when I was really like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Like no. I don't care if you see my commercial, my Insta stories 500 times. I'm still gonna send it to you individually. Get your mind right. You know what I mean?
well, I
So
had a client recently that was trying to do an event, and she was like, "Well, I don't want to overpost," because I had told her, I said, "You need to post XYZ amount of times every day." Because like if she has a real number she's trying to hit, for me, I look at the number and I say, okay, how many times do we have to talk to these people to get them, to say, just like with Walmart, how many times do we have to talk to them for them to understand that this is it, this is it, this is it. She was like, well, I don't want to overpost. I'm like, man, no one else is going to post this for you. So if you want people to see you, you have to do it. And you
yeah,
can't be worried about, oh, they're going to think you are selling. So they're going to think you're selling because maybe you sell it. You know what I
hmm
mean? So,
yeah,
I mean, you just got to put yourself out there as many times as you possibly can. I used to post, and post, and post, and I'd be like, I would even start and say, I know y'all tired of seeing this. I don't care. And I'll
yeah.
post again.
My publicist tells me that all the time. She's like, you can't. She was like, because you're not begging. You're selling something, and you're selling a quality product. It's not like you's out here selling flat tummy tea and the shit is bullshit. Like you selling something that you believe in. You need to act like you believe in it. And I'm like, okay. And it's crazy because I don't know where I get that from in business because my personality and like I'm super in your face. I have a very intense personality normally, but it's like I don't know. I get kind of like shy with my business. She's like, yo, that's over with.
I know it. Well, I'm like that too. And I'm always extra. But then when I'm talking about, okay, well, today I need to try to advertise. So I'm like, well, what should I say? Instead of just what I usually do, which is like just present what I'm going to say. But I think it's just, there's that internal, I wouldn't call it an insecurity, but whenever you're building something when your business is it's your baby and you don't want to see it disrespected or however, and that's how I look at it whenever I start to feel a little bit nervous. I'm like, I don't want people down talking because I'm working real hard on this shit. But I just
Mm-hmm.
have to go, don't even worry about it. Because if people are going to talk about you negatively, whether you're going to sell it or not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where can everybody find you on social?
Oh, for shizzle. So I'm everywhere. Mainly I bees on Instagram. You can find me. I'm always posting like cooking videos or just food videos, trapping videos, thoughty photos. So that's at Sunny Speaks, SUNNI Speaks, SPEAKS. So you can find me there. It's Sunny Speaks on Facebook. Um, you can add me on there. I'm on Twitter, Poet SUNNIDAPOET, but I'm not even gonna front on y'all. I just be on there like reposting funny shit. I don't really post that much on Twitter, and I really don't know why. I think it's kind of like juggling so much, but mainly you can find me on Facebook and on the gram. And that's how you can get in contact with me and find out when I'm coming to your city. I'm coming to New York tomorrow, Atlantic City on Saturday. And I'll be in St. Louis in July, Baltimore in August. Hopefully Houston in August too.
Okay,
You know
come on.
what I'm saying? I want to sell food, but I want to show off my swimsuit even more.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for you to come. Like anybody who wants to come. I mean, I want this to be a great event, and I really would love to get some media out there too, like more than just me and the other podcasters, like like people who are doing like TV and newspaper, so we can get some good press, so everybody can get some love, so we can, kind of push this thing a little bit more because we're all working. I think that's,
Hmm.
I mean, if I could get some press, I want us all to get some press. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I'm down. I'm down to go, and let me check well, my schedule is pretty clear for the end of, but I gotta see what some flights looking like and how many
Yeah.
events I squeeze in to make a quick coin.
Yeah. I mean, just let me know.
All right, so that was this week's episode. I appreciate everybody for listening in, and make sure that you follow me at MS Creative AF. Follow the show at Between Us Girls Podcast. And I'm about to amp up the Patreon. I'm about to put some stuff out there. Y'all not going to be able to see it if you're not a patron. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And next week, we have Nurse Lolita K. She is a medical cannabis consultant and educator, and she is going to be sitting with me to talk about CanSum Official. Okay, so make sure that you follow me and subscribe so that you don't miss that episode. All right, and thank you for listening. Bye.